Tuesday, Wednesday rather, 19th of February, you're back in business with me, Harsha Subramaniam. Close contest whether the budget will be investor-friendly or revenue-friendly. That's through a survey by Grant Thornton India that features findings from 300 corporate houses. Joining us now, Munesh Khanna of Grant Thornton India. Munesh, many thanks for joining us today. My first question to you, could you take us through what this survey is about and how it was done?
I think, Harsha, what we do is every year before the budget, we conduct a survey with this year we did it with 300 corporates. And essentially going to the CEOs, CFO, other senior people within the organization as to what is the pulse of the industry, what are they really expecting from the budget. Sure. We broad base it, try and cover different industries to get a perspective as to what are they really expecting and then come up with a report. Sure. And we've done this for the 7-8 years, and it gives us a good sense of what the industry is expecting and where the pulse is.
Let's get into the specifics, and that's the first one for you. Do you expect this budget to be investor-friendly or revenue-friendly? Pretty much even keel.
I think, as you've seen, the results are split down the middle. Right. People are unsure as to really, what the finance minister would be doing. And by and large, people are expecting that it is not going to be, if we take it the other way around, it's not really going to be not in-friendly. So I think what people are expecting, at least 50%, that yes, it will be investor-friendly, or it will be at least a status quo. But I think the one expectation is that yes, we should not be slipping from here.
Sure. The other important aspect, Munesh, and this is particularly with respect to what the FM has been saying, both on the inheritance tax and the super rich tax. Get to the inheritance tax first. And your survey actually reveals that most people are not expecting an inheritance tax, or rather, they don't want one.
Clearly, let's take the first thing first. They don't want one. I think one of the things which did come out in the survey is 55% of the people said that they're not really expecting an inheritance tax. I think it's because there's been no build-up to it. In India, if you have to introduce anything, there is a build-up. We've seen that with GST, GAR, everything. Yeah. So there has been no build-up to it. So it's really something which has come in. Eventually, would there be some kind of an inheritance tax? Personally, if you ask me, yes, I do believe that it would be. But I think at this point of time, because it has come in suddenly, people are expecting that unlikely there to be. But, well, we never know. On 28th, we might be surprised.
Sure. But on the issue of super rich tax, there's been quite a bit of debate on how do you define who the super rich is? What criteria would you use? Would that be on income, or would that be on wealth? What does the survey reveal?
I think the probability that yes, super rich tax would come in is higher than the inheritance tax. I think people are expecting that the FM will not change the tax rates and will not really change the tax rates and keep the tax regime more or less constant. However, when it comes to the super rich, and I think personally, again, and based on our interactions with the industry, it would really be an income threshold and say that, income above, so you are drawing income above, which crore, whatever is the limit, then there would be a surcharge, a super tax, or an extra tax. And effectively, that would mean that the tax rate does go up for those people.
In the past 6-8 months, we've seen the finance minister come out and announce a series of measures. Yet some of these sectors, power, infrastructure, core sectors, are facing season. The question, therefore, is what should this budget focus on? And your survey actually reveals that you're expecting, or many people are expecting, the budget to focus on the infrastructure space.
Clearly, I mean, where are we? We are at 5.3, 5.6% growth rate, and that steep fall in the growth rate is primarily on the lag of infrastructure. And clearly, whether we take our survey or any other survey, or talk to anybody else in the country, what we really need is infrastructure, because without that infrastructure, we could be closer to a 5% growth rate, and that is just not enough for an economy like India.
Sure.
We need to get it up. I think what we've seen over the last 5 or 6 months, clearly intention by the government that we are planning to do. The trick is always in the implementation. There was a meeting yesterday between the power minister, Scindia, and all the power producers. There is the EGOM, the Committee for Implementation Projects, sometime this week. I think it has to come on the implementation. And I think people are expecting and are hoping that infrastructure implementation happens, and that is what will give the kicker to the growth rate and our GDP repeater.
Sure. One final question, Munesh, and this is specifically with respect to litigation. Every sector, every industry today is fighting with the government, and there is litigation with the government in some context or the other. Do you expect this budget to, in a sense, create a redressal mechanism? It will reduce this large avalanche of cases that are pending in courts today.
I think that clearly is an issue, both, and it's not only an issue for international investors coming in, but even domestically, we've seen more and more Indian companies having tax litigation.
What does the survey reveal on this point?
The survey reveals that people are expecting, as far as indirect taxes, because these are new laws which are coming in, and there would be clarity, whether it's on indirect transfers, transfer pricing mechanisms, indirect Cenvat versus service tax fungibility.
Sure.
And what we are expecting, what our clients and the industry is expecting, that there would be clarity on that, because there has been a lot of issues. On pure income tax, I think the jury is still whether the government would be able to give that much clarity, because so much more is subject to interpretation out there. But as far as indirect taxes, transfer pricing, fungibility of Cenvat, we are expecting that there would be a significant amount of more clarity to reduce the amount of litigation.
Munesh Khanna, pleasure. Thank you for joining us on Bloomberg. Thank you so much for stopping. Up next, that.